Okay, look up, Ma. Yeah. You don't have to do anything special. Just look. Just be natural.
Natural.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
be natural.
So what's going to happen?
Mom, first off, I want to say I owe everything to God, you, and Dad. You guys stuck by me in the times when you maybe didn't want to. You've always supported. You've always encouraged, and more importantly, you guys modeled to me being a loving family. Parents, great parents. You modeled business, entrepreneurship. So I was fortunate because I just grew up always seeing you and Dad in business. Dad, I know, at the time he was running Mercy Douglas Corporation, which was a huge company in my eyes, 2 nursing homes, 400 or 500 employees. But in addition to that, we had the family accounting firm, James J. Wilson Accounting Firm at 6020 Lansdowne Avenue. And all of my life, you ran it. And I know at about 10 or 11, I was there working for you, ripping up stuff, and I don't even know. But so first, I do want to say thank you for that. And I want to ask you. We had a great conversation about how Dad actually got started in business, and you were saying he actually got started renting a desk space. Is that true?
Yes. Yes. Before that, he did work with someone else, and then he left him, and he worked from. He paid $25 a month for a desk space.
$25 a month. And where was the desk space at?
It was like in a real estate office, and it was a little section they had, like another room, and it had a desk and a table and a chair, and that's where he worked.
And what did he do?
He had clients. Well, first of all, the real estate office that rented him this space, when he was going to St. Joe's, he used to go in there a couple nights a week and do taxes. And then when he graduated from St. Joe's and this office space was rented to him, he took care of people's accounting. He did accounting work, people that had business. Besides doing yearly taxes, he took care of people's business.
Okay. So how long did he rent the desk spape? Was it just for a year or 2 years?
No, it's about. If you give me a minute, I'll think down. 62, 64. Wait a minute. To 66, 67. That's when he got the incentive. I think it's about 5 or 6 years.
He rented a desk for about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, and he did accounting business.
Okay, and so what was the name of the family accounting firm?
Well, at that time, it's still James J. Wilson, but the office where he rented the space was William and Reddish Real Estate Office.
But Dad's business, what did he call his business?
James J. Wilson.
James J. Wilson Accounting Firm?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And when he first came out of school, was he a public accountant?
Yes.
And what is can you sort of describe what is a public accountant as compared to a certified public accountant?
A public accounting, there are things. I think I'm going to give it to you right. I'm not sure, but a public accountant, there are certain things they can't certify.
Okay.
That a CPA can.
Okay.
In certain audits, they can't just say this is. I think that's the difference.
Okay, but a public accountant was a significant designation above just being an accountant.
Yes. Well, no, it's the same thing.
Same thing. Mm-hmm. So when you graduated from school, were you considered a public accountant?
No, not what you mean. You have to graduate from a college.
Yeah, but didn't you have to do something to become a public accountant? Just because, like now, if you graduate, you're not considered a public accountant.
When you graduate from school?
Yeah, from school.
Well, I don't, you know what, to tell you the truth, Joel, I don't even know if he used that word public accountant.
Well, he did because it was on
It
his
was
sign.
on,
Yeah.
well, it must be it. But there's nothing different. You just have to have your degree that said, you know, you had, he graduated in business administration, but he majored in accounting.
Okay, no problem. No
So
problem.
I don't know.
So how long did you work at the family accounting firm?
I worked there. How old was James? James was born in '66. I worked there from 1966 part-time.
Okay.
And until, what, really, 2006?
To 2006?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you do at the accounting firm?
Well, I did taxes. I did administration work, I guess. I did taxes. I also listened to people that had problems.
Okay.
If I could help them. I wrote checks for people.
Did you do payroll?
I did payroll. I did the
Were you a
whole
notary
thing.
public?
I'm notary public. I could do taxes, a Schedule C. I could not do partnership,
Okay.
corporation.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Now, did you help out? Say, if a family came in and they had a young person was trying to go to college, did you help out with FIA
Yes.
forms?
I did fill out those forms.
Okay. So you guys really did a lot just to help stabilize that community
Yes,
on Lansdowne Avenue, 6020 Lansdowne
Yes,
Avenue.
if sometimes people would come in and they would have, you know, serious problems. Sure, I'd listen to them, and then I knew certain people I would call
Okay.
to get help for them.
Okay.
And I would do that in a minute, and, you know, a lot of times, you know, they would help them.
Okay.
I knew how to reach out to somebody who could help them, because I really didn't like to not be able to help people if I could.
Okay.
And even if people came to get taxes done, especially young people, when I look at their W-2 and I could see how much they were going to get back, I would say to them, I'm giving you a book and I'm giving you a tax form. I want you to go home and fill this out. And they say, well, I'm going to make a mistake. No, you can't. And even if you made a mistake, they're going to send you the money.
Right.
But it's no sense in you paying me.
Right.
You're in school, you can read.
Right.
You can go home and do this.
Okay.
I didn't believe in taking, we were in business, but I was not a person who believed in taking money from people when I know, even if it was a married couple and you see that, you know, they had some kids, and I wouldn't take, you know,
Okay.
I would help them out the best I could, but I didn't believe in doing that.
Okay. Well, that's great. And I just have one last question.
I have something
Okay.
to say to you. When you started off with him with Mercy Douglas, before he worked at Mercy Douglas, you know, he worked at Philadelphia Anti-Poverty Action Commission
Yes.
as an accountant.
Yes. And they did some great things with the
Yes.
Anti-Poverty Commission.
That's
They
right.
helped to bring Head Start here to the city of
That's
Philadelphia.
right.
And out of that organization is where they got the funding to birth Mercy Douglas.
That's right. And don't you forget that
Yes,
they did
thank
some.
you. Thank
They did some very, very important. It's a shame they don't have something like that around. It was 13 districts. I know where all the districts are. I have a map.
you. Okay.
In all parts of the city. They did a lot of good things.
Okay.
They even helped a lot of people go to college. There are some lawyers that sit now that went through PAC
Okay.
because they gave them a lot of encouragement and how they should dress. If a girl would come to work with some shorts, those adults, they would send them home and tell them how to dress
Okay.
to be presentable on the job. They don't have things like that now.
Well, they do have some, but a much better job has to be done getting the word
Yes.
out. And your son is working on helping out in our city in those efforts.
I'll tell you something else they had. They also had a nutrition program. In fact, I got a book,
Right, the cookbook.
a cookbook, would tell people how they could get the right nourishments, break it down, how much a meal would course, which I thought that was very good.
Yeah, and I agree. I think you're 100% right.
They did a lot of good at Philadelphia Action Property.
Okay. So that's something we have to do more to keep that history alive, and I will do that. And God willing, I'll get that done.
Another thing, not cutting you, but they worked on getting children jobs in the summer.
Okay. And that still goes on. Like last year, they had the Philadelphia Youth Network, and even through that program, I was able to hire 2 students from Overbrook High School.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, a lot of the efforts that the anti-poverty program did, and they more or less birthed it here in the city, a lot of that is still going on. It's just by disparate groups, and then the black community is dispersed. So, things are almost in silos. So you may be in South Philly, so you don't necessarily know what's going on in West Philly. And that sounds strange because we have the internet now and all this, but just that good information doesn't travel far. Bad information is everywhere.
And then another thing, I think they worked with OIC and a lot of things.
Right. And OIC is still around. I'm working with them now, helping to push forward STEM programs, and they have 3 alternative high schools. And there's not one person I've spoken to about it who knows OIC has 3 alternative high schools right now in the city of Philadelphia.
Well, I'm one. I didn't know.
But I have one last question for you, and thank you so much for your time, taking out your Saturday. When I was 12 years old and I was working for you, was I a good employee?
Yes. You were a good employee because what I really see, you would go with them computers, even at 12. Even we didn't have a regular kind of computer, but it was something you knew how to do. What was that you had?
Well, you had some machine. It was like
what was 4800?
It was like a big calculator type thing, and we could run the numbers and put the GL numbers in it. And it would cum for the income and expenses.
You were a very good employee. I'm going to tell you, James worked good. Gal worked good. Because that's the only way you were going to have some money. Because you had to work so. I mean, nobody was going to give you nothing.
Right.
So you all did very well because you wanted that check.
Well, there you have it. You want someone to, do something like, give them encouragement and make them earn it.
That's right.
Don't just give it to them. Make them earn it.
Because that's the way. That's the one thing I don't understand nowadays. Nobody wants to earn. Sometimes I walk up and down this block, I see a whole lot of tree limbs.
Right.
And to me, when I was a kid, we'd be knocking on everybody's door to pick up them tree limbs because we could make some money.
Right.
You know?
I know, I did it when I was a kid.
That's right. I mean, you do things like that.
Right.
And, it's surprising, but so many people would be happy if you did they do well in the house.
Right.
Because I know, like the young man that comes in the snow, he comes faithfully, even in the middle of the night if it stops.
Right. That's great.
Right. But you don't seem to see that anymore. I see a lot of things that kids could make some money.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if they swept off over there at the office, I used to have a kid that came every day to empty my trash can, to sweep the pavement. This was a little girl. To see if I wanted something from the store. The Acme was there. You don't have that no more.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But we're trying to make it better, Mom.
Okay.
But thank you graciously. I love you, Mom.
Okay.
All right.
I have to laugh. When you get senior started, they don't know how to stop.